guys, Felipe with Felipe Fitness here, back with another how-to video. This time I'm talking about chin-ups and how you can improve on them. Alright guys, so first let me explain. A chin-up, in my opinion, is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, lat development exercise. So if you've never done it before, then get familiar with it. You'll see exactly how to do one and my routine on how to improve them if you're not very good at doing chin-ups or pull-ups really. Now, in this video, I'm specifically going to be talking about chin-ups, but this can easily be applied to pull-ups. So if you can do a pull-up, then I would honestly recommend doing that instead. I'm talking today about chin-ups just because they're a little easier to do, so more people will benefit from this video because of that. Now, I understand that not everybody is able to do a chin-up or pull-up, alright, and that's perfectly fine, but you should have a goal to get to that point one day, and if you practice your chin-ups or your pull-ups, then eventually you will get to it. But at the end of this video, just so you guys know, I am going to be addressing that issue. What to do, what kind of exercises to do if you're not able to do a chin-up, and what will help you to work up to that point. So I'll talk about that briefly at the end of the video. The main purpose of this video though is to talk about chin-ups and how to improve them. So if you're not very good at them, then this video will definitely help you out. And any of the information you learn in this video, you can easily apply to pull-ups. So if you rather prefer to do pull-ups and can actually do them, then you can apply this to them instead of doing actual chin-ups. Alright, now to do this, you're going to need two pieces of equipment. One that's required and one that's really optional. The first piece of equipment that's required is just a pull-up bar. So if you have one at your gym, then go ahead and use that. You can do this at home as well if you have your own pull-up bar. You can go to the store and buy one. They're honestly not that expensive, $30 to $50 depending on what brand you get, what type you get. You know, some have more features on them, they're just bigger, I guess. But either way, it's not that expensive. So there's not a lot of money investment involved in this. The other thing you'll need, when this is optional, is a dip belt. But this is going to make things a little easier on you because eventually at some point you are going to start adding weight into the exercise. Now if you don't have a dip belt, then that's perfectly fine. You honestly don't need one. You will need dumbbells though. So if you have a set at home, great. If you don't, like I said, you can do this at your local gym. Alright, so first, before I get into the actual routine and explain that, I want to just kind of explain to you and show you how to do a proper chin-up, as well as adding weight to it if you don't have a dip belt. Alright, so a chin-up is a little different than an actual pull-up. Now you probably know what a pull-up is, maybe you've even done it yourself. A chin-up is going to be a little different, not much. So in a pull-up, you would hold the bar with your hands a little wider than shoulder width apart, right about here with an overhand grip. So your palms are turned away from you, and then of course you're pulling yourself up, you're pulling your chest to the bar, and then you're lowering yourself back down, straightening out those arms as you do so, and then starting the process over again. Now, in a chin-up, instead of with an overhand grip, you're going to turn your grip around for an underhand grip, so your palms are facing you, and then bring your wrists closer together so that they're about shoulder width apart. And then from there, it's the same as doing a pull-up. So you're pulling yourself up, pulling your chest towards the bar, and then back down. Make sure every time you do this, your chin comes over the bar. That's one complete rep right there. If the chin does not come over the bar, then you can't really count that as a full chin-up or pull-up. Alright, now let me show you exactly what a chin-up is with proper form. just to the chin-up. Now, if you noticed, as I was doing it, like I said, your hands are about shoulder width apart with an underhand grip. So turn them around so your palms are facing you. And I pull myself up, pulling my chest towards the bar. And now, just to the point where my chin comes over it, I want to pull myself up just a little higher than that. But always making sure that your chin comes over the bar every time. Then I lower myself back down, not to a complete dead hang, but very close. So you don't want your arms perfectly straight when you get to the bottom. Don't lock at the elbows, but get very close. And then just repeat it. Bring your chest up to the bar, and then back down. Alright? Now, like I mentioned earlier, eventually you're going to start adding weight into the routine to improve on your chin-ups. And like I said, if you don't have a dip belt, then a simple way to do that is just to use a dumbbell and hold on to it using your shoes, basically. So let me show you how that's done. Okay, so just did the chin up with the dumbbell, adding weight to it. As you can see, I didn't have a dip belt, and honestly, in real life, I don't actually own a dip belt. I should probably invest in something like that, but don't have it right now. So, what I did, just chin up as normal, but I had a dumbbell. Now, to make it easiest, when you get into the hanging position, like I said, you want to grab onto the dumbbell using your shoes. Alright? You just want to wrap them around the bar of the dumbbell. The easiest way to do that is to position the dumbbell right underneath the bars, right in the middle, so directly underneath. That way, when you get in position, you don't have to swing forward, you don't have to swing your feet back to grab onto the dumbbell right there. And then you just do it as normal. You shouldn't have a problem holding on to it, unless you have really crappy shoes, but hopefully you don't. Alright, so that's the chin up. That's also the chin up that you can do with added weight if you don't have a dip belt. Alright, now one other thing I want to mention before I explain the actual routine. When you're actually doing the chin up, or a pull-up, honestly, don't swing. So don't swing the hips out, don't swing the hips back to help you build momentum to swing up. I understand this is basically what's called the kipping technique, which is done a lot in CrossFit. Now, if CrossFit's your thing, that's great. Do what you want to do what makes you happy. That's not going to work for this routine though. So don't swing, keep it controlled, up and down the whole time. Your body shouldn't be swinging back and forth, alright? So, let's get into the routine. I'm going to explain that to you guys. Now, the first place I want to start is for the person that can do a chin-up, but not 10 in a set. Because eventually that's the point that you want to get to, being able to do 10 straight chin-ups without having to rest at all between your reps. So yeah, 10 straight chin-ups, that's eventually where you want to be, but if you're not quite at that point but can do at least one, then this next little section I explained is where you're going to want to begin. So, what you're going to do to improve up to 10 chin-ups at a time is you're going to start off with a little bit of a test here. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the pull-up bar, get on that, do some chin-ups. You're going to do as many chin-ups as you can within a set. Now, if you could do 10 or more, then you don't need to worry about this part. But if you could say do only 6, then you take that max, and what you're going to do with it is divide it in half. Alright? So 6 to 3, if say for if say you only do 5, then you round it up. So instead of 2, you're doing 3. So you get 3. Now, that number that you get is going to be the number of chin-ups that you actually do in a set. So like I said, if your max is 6, then you're going to be doing 3 reps each set when you do this. Now, in this routine, for this first section, it's probably going to take you about a month or so. It just depends on how quickly you actually improve on these. But each time you do this routine, which I recommend about twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week, honestly, you're going to be doing 3 sets of these chin-ups. Doing 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps, whatever number you came up with at the end of that test. So, on the first set, you're going to do 3 reps, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to be resting a minute in between each set. And then you're going to do it again. 3 sets of 3 reps, resting a minute in between each set. Now you're going to do that for the first week. On the second week, you're not going to change anything except for your rest times. So on week 1, you're resting 60 seconds in between each set. In week 2, you're going to be resting 45 seconds. Each week, you're going to be taking off 15 seconds until you eliminate the rest times and you do all 3 sets of 3 without resting. Therefore, you just did 9. And then you shouldn't have a problem doing 10 after that. But basically, each week, you're going to be reducing your rest times by 15 seconds. Now, at the end of a month, you get to the end and you're still not able to do 10 chin-ups in 1 set, then you just start the whole process over again. But you're going to start with the test, finding out your max. You should have improved on your max. And then taking that number, dividing it by half, and then just doing that whole process over again. Reducing the rest times by 15 seconds every time until you pretty much eliminate the rest times. About 15 seconds, you can reduce it by 10 seconds, honestly, if you need to, if you don't progress that quickly. But you just keep doing that until you're able to do a set of 10 reps, all right? Alright, so you just finished phase 1. You worked your way up to doing a set of 10 chin-ups, alright? Now that's awesome. You're not stopping there though, you're going on to phase 2, and this is the phase where you actually add weight into the exercise. Now, before I actually explain phase 2, just so you know, there is quite a bit to talk about here. So what I'm going to do for you guys is, at the end of the video, I'm just going to post all of that information for you, because some of this can be a little confusing and there's quite a bit to remember, so you really don't have to worry about that. But anyways, you're in phase 2 now. Now, in phase 1, we reduced your rest times between sets. In phase 2, you're not going to be doing that. It's 60 seconds of rest in between each set. Now in phase 2, you're going to be reducing your reps that you do within each set. So your rest times stay the same. Your reps are reduced on each set. But because of that, that means you're just adding weight progressively to each set right there. So what you're doing is, like I said, 60 seconds of rest, doing a total of 6 sets each time you go through this routine, which again, I recommend doing about 2 to 3 times a week. Alright? So 60 seconds rest, 6 sets, 2 to 3 times a week. Now, like I mentioned, in every set you're adding weight and reducing the rep range. So in week 1, and again, just like phase 1, this is divided by weeks. This is a total of 4 weeks here. In week 1, on set 1, you're starting with 10 reps, no weight. Set 2, you're reducing that by 2 reps, and you're doing 8 reps. This time adding a little weight to the exercise, probably a 5-pounder, nothing too much there. And then in set 3, you're reducing it to 6 reps. Alright, once you get to that point, then you're just going to do it all over again. Set 4 is 10, set 5 is 8, and then set 6 is back to 6, all right? So a total of 6 sets there, and you're just running through it. If you want to, you can divide it into 2 halves and just run through it twice, basically, all right? Now that's week 1 for you. Week 2, what you're going to be doing with that is starting heavier. So this time, instead of starting with 10 reps, you're starting with 8, and this time you are starting with weight. So you're starting with 8 reps, and then in set 2, 6, set 3, 4, and then you repeat those 3 sets again. Alright, so you're starting with weight, adding a little more, and then finishing up with just a little more than that if you can. Alright, and then repeat. That's week 2. Week 3, you're starting with 6, 4, and then 2, and then repeating that. And then in your last week, week 4, you're starting with 4, 2, and then 1. And then repeating that. So 4, 2, and then 1. Right there. And like I said, it's 60 seconds of rest in between each set. Alright? Now, that was a lot to say, a lot to remember. Again, like I said, I'm going to be posting this right at the end of the video. It'll be all written out for you guys, so you really don't have to remember it. Alright? You can write it down, what you see at the end of the video. But it's also good to explain this to you guys. So, that's going to be phase 2 for you guys, and you're going to do that, again, like I said, for 4 weeks. Now, at the end of 4 weeks, if you still want to improve, then you can just go back and redo it. And there's really just 2 phases to this routine. Phase 1, getting yourself up to being able to do 10 reps, and then at that point, reducing the reps in each set, adding weight each time, and after a 4-week period, then you just go back and do that again, but start heavier. So this time when you actually do 10 reps, and back to week 1, you're already starting with weight, alright? So you should be able to go heavier each time you go through these phases, alright? And you're just going to keep doing this. This is a great way to develop the lats, but in a chin-up, you're also using your biceps quite a bit versus a pull-up where you're not using biceps. That's also one of the reasons why a chin-up is easier to do than a pull-up. But like I said, it's a great lat and bicep exercise. So if you want to develop the 2, then this is a great exercise for that. This is a great routine that will help you to improve them. Alright, so that's basically the routine right there, but before I end this video, I do want to talk about what I mentioned right at the beginning of the video, and that's the fact that not everybody is able to do a chin-up. So, as I promised at the beginning of the video, I just want to talk really quickly about a few exercises that you can do to work your way up to that point. Alright, so there are a few exercises I recommend if you're working your way up to actually being able to do a chin-up. The first one is a negative chin-up, and that's basically just focusing on the lowering portion of a chin-up. So not worrying about pulling yourself up, but really just lowering yourself down for a fixed amount of time. So the best way to do this is just to take a stool and put it right underneath a pull-up bar. That way you'll stand on top of the stool, grab the bar, and then pull, and then just jump your way up, and then lower yourself down slowly. Right? That way, like I said, you don't have to worry about pulling yourself up, because obviously at this point you can't do that. But this way you can focus on bringing yourself down. And gradually over time, you want to increase the amount of time you take to lower yourself down until you get to about 30 seconds. Once you're able to do a negative chin-up for about 30 seconds, most likely you should be able to do an actual chin-up. Maybe even before that point. Alright, so that's the first exercise. Exercise number 2 are just some seated lat pull downs, but you're going to do them explosively. Alright, now the last exercise that I recommend to help work your way up to a actual chin-up are some assisted chin-ups. Now the best way to do this, the most effective way to do this is with a band. Now if you don't have access to a band that you can use, then the next best thing would just be at your gym, hopefully they have an assisted pull-up machine that you can use. You know, the one that has the pull-up bar and then the pad on it so that you can kneel on and then just pull yourself up. Alright guys, so that is my chin-up video. Hopefully that helped you in some way. Like I said, a chin-up or a pull-up is really the most effective exercise that you can do for lat development. So if you're not used to doing them and are looking for more of that V shape, then get used to them. If you can't do them, then work your way up to being able to do so. Alright? Honestly, you guys won't regret it. So hopefully that helped you guys out. If it did, please like the video and share this. And then the other thing is, as always, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, Felipe Fitness, then please do so. Just take a second to click on that subscribe button. That way I'll be able to keep you guys up to date on all the extra videos I put out, vlogs and more how-to videos. That will just give you good ideas for your future workouts and your goals in the future. Alright? So thanks for watching guys. I'm Felipe with Felipe Fitness and I will see you in my next video. Bye.